Alrighty, guys, this is Snugsonblitz, and as expected, the Christmas auctions have arrived. Yes, a few of my friends were writing and saying, "Hey, are they going to do the auctions this year? And the Christmas event started. Where are the auctions, etc., etc." And I said, "Don't worry, they'll be here in the store." I believe, as of today, you can still pick up these special gold boxes. There's a 50,000 gold box and a 20,000 gold box, a 7,500 gold box. These are pretty good deals. I nearly always pick up some gold at this time of year because I want to stock up for the following year or pick up some tanks in the auction. Got a lot of tanks, so there's not many tanks I'm really interested in picking up unless they're great deals or the tank I really, really, really want. Now, I'm not sure what they're going to have, but I do know what tanks are available today for the next few days. That means there are going to be another bunch of tanks released in, I think, 7 days' time. Yeah, I've just checked it. There's going to be 4 rounds. 2 years ago, they only had 3 rounds, but now they've got 4 rounds. So for the next 7 days, these are the tanks you're going to be stuck with. What I'm going to hopefully do in these videos is let you know what tanks I think are worth picking up, and more importantly, at what price. Some of these tanks are old, but of course, Wargaming does put some newer tanks in to get people excited. And I haven't done my prediction of what other tanks will be dropping, but let me know if you want me to do that video. I can always do it, or if you just prefer me to come out when the tanks are released, whether I think they're good or not. Just let me know in the comments below. I'm happy to give you my predictions. But as we've got the auctions rocking and rolling here, I figure I'll let you know which tanks are worth picking up today. So let's just dig in, shall we? Starting off with the Hawk 30. Wow, 8,500 gold for a tank that is mid at best. That's overpriced. I suspect it's going to drop down probably to the last day. Only 9 have been sold so far. It's dropping down by 1,500 gold, so that means next time would be 7,000. After that, 5,500, and then 4,000. Now, 4,000, that may be a price you want to pick it up at. Is it a tank I think you must have? No. Is it a strong tank? No. Is it an interesting tank? Yes, for players who've had a lot of games and have most of the tanks. But does it offer something special? I don't think it does. I think the RU-251 in the tech tree is better. It's more interesting. This one is, in my opinion, a pale comparison to that. But, hey, if you want to pick it up, that's up to you. But I would say wait until the last day to pick this up. I don't expect this one to sell out at all. Now, 252 has been in the game forever. It's now, 6 years or something like that. And it's 9,500. Now, is it a strong tank? Well, yes. It's still pretty strong today. Took it out for a spin the other day. Predictably bouncy and does some damage. Is it a fun tank? No. But is it a carry tank? Yes. Just because of its bouncing capability. Is it a tank I think you must have? I do think so. I think it's one of the better IS-3 variants. It's up there with a few other tanks, but definitely one that you've got to have in your garage. However, at what price? 9,500. That's ridiculous. Recently in the Black Friday event, you could pick up the Shark, the T5042 for 7,500. Come on. I mean, 9,500. I suspect this will drop down to, let's see, 8,000, maybe 6,500. Yeah, again, I think I would wait for the last day to pick this up if you don't have it. But it's definitely worth it in the sense of, is it a strong tank? Yes. Fun tank? No, not really. But just for the giggles, yes. So I hope you get what I mean by that. Moving on to the Astron Rex. This is a tough tank to play. I think many people will struggle with this tank, and I definitely would not recommend this over the Object 252 just because it's hard. Pen's not great. 9,000, way overpriced. I would say, again, wait for this for the last day. I think if this would drop down to maybe 5,000, I think that's where you'd consider picking this up. So of these 3 tanks in Tier 8, I would only go for the 252. And we have a Tier 7 tank. They always like to do this. They put 1 or 2 Tier 7 tanks among a few other higher tier tanks. The FV201. This is a decently fun tank. It's like a more mobile, black prints, the great DPM, decent speed. Just doesn't have the armor of black prints, but that's that's a good thing, I guess, because the black prince is slow. It doesn't have the speed boost. I would say this is a tank you should have in your garage. I mean, it's only going to drop by 250 gold per day. That's pretty weak. I would again think this would last the last day. So whatever price that will get down to, around 2,200 gold or something like that, I would say that's maybe a decent price to pick up this tank. I mean, it's tier 7, but you can have a little bit of fun. So of these 4 tanks so far, I'm actually going to recommend the FV201 because of the price. But if you just want a strong tank, I'd go for the 252. But we have some other tanks to talk about, so let's take a look at what other tanks we have. We have 4 more tanks. And these tanks are much better tanks. Starting off with the K91. Now, I don't know why, but they seem to have started these prices up higher than they have in previous years. I remember a long time ago, this started at 10,000. Compounds started around 9,000, if I'm not mistaken. I could check my info, but yeah, these are both very strong tier 9 tanks still today. Underrated, in my opinion. And the K91 is very strong. It had 70% in it. It's easy to play. It's dominant. I don't know why people can't play it well. I would say this is a must-have in your garage. I think if you can wait for it to drop to around 8,500, I'd say that's a very good price for a very good tank. So I'd say that's a definite must-have. If you want to pay a little bit more for it, yeah, go for it. But I don't see them selling out right away. So you wait at least till it drops down to, I don't know, 9.5K, or that when they start moving quickly, that's when you're going to make your move, right? So just keep your eye on how many vehicles are left and just check every day. And when it drops down really low, maybe it's your time to pounce. Likewise, the Compounds of 70 is a very strong tank. I prefer the K91. It can do a little bit more on the battlefield, but this is a derpy type gun, so it's like an SU-152 with a turret. And yeah, it's a strong tank, competitive. Likewise, as I said, around 70% for myself, and that's the K91. It's a little bit cheaper, so that's nice. I would say if this can get down to 8,000, you're getting a very nice tank. If it goes lower than that, yeah, go for it. Again, just keep your eye on how many are left. Now, the T22 is a tier 10, kind of beastly medium tank, all sorts of bouncing capability. It's a little bit tough for some people to get used to. It's overpriced, I think, considering how old it is. But look, it's going to drop down by 1,000 a day. So if you can get this for 10,000, I would say that's a buy, definitely. I mean, a tier 10 tank, 10,000, that's you're talking my language now. But a lot of people already have it. So I don't know how quickly these will sell, but I would definitely say this is a good tank if you can get it around 10,000. And even this price is not bad. It's tier 10 after all, but I mean, most people have got it because they really, really want it a long time ago. And last, we've got Chieftain Mark 6, starting off a little higher. I think because it's easier to play than the T22 for most players. It's got bigger alpha, slower, so you don't get as much trouble. And it's only going down by 500 gold per day, which is kind of stinky. But I would say if you can pick this up for around 12K, 11K, around that area, you're getting a very nice tier 10 tank. I love this tank. It's always been one of my favorites in the tier. And it's versatile. But the question is, what other tanks will come out? Do I think any of these are must-haves? Well, I would say all the tanks today, I would probably go for 252 just for the giggles. That would be my number 2 choice. But number 1, I think, would have to be the K91. I think tier for tier, this is a very strong. Against tier 8s, this can absolutely rack up the damage, and it is strong. Chieftain's also a very strong to output that 3rd place, and the Compounds output in 4th place. It just look for a good deal, though, on these tanks. They're not really selling quickly. This has sold the most, with about 204 tanks gone already. But again, why would you buy it on the first day? It's an auction, guys. Just wait. Look for the opportunities to pick up a tank. But if you gotta have it, you gotta have it. I mean, now tier 7 tank at 4,000 gold is not the worst deal. But look, I mean, it's gonna be out for 7 days. I think what happens is it drops for 5 days and then they stop and they just say that's the limit and then you can pick it up for that price. I don't see any of them selling out except maybe the tier 10s and maybe the K91. I don't think this will sell out. This one going down only 500 and 500, but this one drops 1,000. That's nice. So those are my thoughts on this year's first batch of auction tanks. As I said, let me know in the comments below which tank you want and at what price. Will I be right? I don't know. Sometimes tanks just sell out really quickly for whatever reason. But those are just my thoughts. You never know what you're going to have. You might have better tanks or you may have worse tanks. It's kind of hit or miss. As I said, if you want me to do a prediction on the rest of the tanks that will be in the auction, let me know and I'll consider doing that. But for now, just wanted to give you the heads up on these tanks. That's all I got for you right now. I'll see you tomorrow. Snugs on Blitz.